Hi, this is Angelo Dieso again, coming at you from the Pacific Northwest. Continuing this video series, kind of coming off the cuff here. Nothing really planned, just talking from the heart and pushing forward a couple of ideas and thoughts that I think can help other people, if not anything else, just serve as something therapeutic for myself. So thanks for listening. Today I want to talk a little bit about something that has been an issue in my life. It's something that I'm working to overcome, and I am really pleased to be at this point where I'm able to face it right now. Set my smoothie down and put my gloves on because it's chilly. But what I wanted to talk about today was love addiction. And love addiction, you hear about it sometimes, maybe you don't. It's like, how can there be an addiction to love? How can love be addictive? It's a good thing, right? Well, love is a great thing. When I mean love addiction, I think about the sense of feeling that you need to be in love or have somebody love you, or need to always, have people be around you all the time to feel happy with yourself. And of course, humans are social creatures, and we do thrive on others in our lives. But at the same time, you can get to a point when this becomes an unhealthy approach to a certain extent. And for me personally, I'll share a little bit about my experience and how I am still working to overcome this love addiction, or whatever you want to call it. Codependency issues is one way of looking at it. I've been in relationships throughout most of my adult life, and usually, break up with somebody, single, looking, and you hook up with somebody else, and you become in a relationship with them, or you're just dating, or whatever it is you do. But I was in a relationship with a woman for almost 8 years. Lived together, had a pretty good working relationship for a while, until a point, and then it became, for me, I realized, looking at it from the outside now, a few years down the road, it became more of a addiction in a sense, because I stayed in the relationship beyond a point because I was afraid of venturing out into the world on my own. I was afraid of what would happen if I left. And this is a person who I depended on, not just emotionally, but also financially and as a partner, all these different things. And I really leaned on the person really hard. And basically this motivation and drive that came out of fear was a very negative or unproductive reason for me to stay. And it's I believe it's unproductive in general, and it's something that I continually battle with, and I'll talk about it a little bit more. So when this relationship finally came to an end, and like most relationships, they usually don't just end, especially if it's been a relationship of time. It doesn't usually just break up and then you walk away, that's it, you hurt and it's over. Usually relationships are like, okay, you're hurt, but the two people love each other, they're used to each other, so they split, one person comes back to the other person. It's like, this person's hurt because that person left them, so this person wants to get that person back, and if the person comes back, then this person wants to be the one to make the decision to leave, and then this can go on, and we've all been there, or many of us have been there. So I think this is kind of a common thing that most relationships and ends of relationships have gone through. This one ended in particularly differently, because this person met someone and left me for them. It was someone that I had known. It was a friend of mine, so that made it, that was a unique component to it. But people live in circles and operate in circles. So people that you're going to date or know in life, chances are they're going to be drawn from a certain circle. So it's understandable to an extent. And I'm finally at a point now down the road where I'm healing over this circumstance. But when this relationship ended, I was broken, I was devastated, and I turned to drinking, I turned to just punishing myself, feeling sorry for myself. Fortunately, I had friends that could take care, that could stay with me, that could listen to me. No one was really taking care of me. I wasn't taking care of myself. And, you know, realistically, if you're not taking care of yourself, no one's going to take care of you. It doesn't matter if you have a million friends listen to you whine and complain all day long, until you decide to put that first foot forward and say, I'm going to change. I'm going to fight through this, because it's not easy. It's hard, especially if you suffer from depression and anxiety and all these different things. If you're not facing your reality or getting true help for your situation, it's quite a struggle. And a lot of us use different means of coping. Some people it's drinking. Some people it's like, okay, let's just go out and date a bunch of other people. Let's, you know, sleep around. For me, it was drinking. And, you know, also I was, you know, looking for find somebody else that would love me. And I was basically a bunch of broken pieces, and carrying my broken pieces around with me. But that's where the social media comes in, where I think social media can be a damaging element. Social media can be great when you connect with people and reach out to them and promote a positive common good. But when social media is used to shine a light upon yourself in a false way so that people will like you, a lot of people can do that and not even realize it, because I think we all do it in real life, because we all want to believe in ourselves and we want to promote ourselves. So we want to dress nice, look nice, present ourselves nicely so that other people will think nicely of us. What I've gotten to learn over time is that being yourself is really the most important thing, and realizing that you're always in need of growing and learning. No matter how young or old you are, you always have to adapt and grow and learn and enjoy the ride, basically. So after this relationship had ended, I was working a lot on my blog. That was a big part of my life. I've been a beer blogger for a while, very involved with the craft beer industry, which, as you can see, can become a problem because, you know, beer is there and beer can become a coping mechanism and addictive depressant. But anyways, I met somebody online who, you know, was kind of like what I saw as like a beer celebrity, somebody that I wanted to I didn't really want to know the person, to be honest with you. I didn't really care for the person that I knew at first, but, you know, this person showed persistent, like, similar symptoms of love addiction that I had. Wanted to be with somebody, wanted to find somebody that shared the same need to be loved. And it seemed to make sense because we were both really successful and competent in what we did. We were both beer bloggers. We were both knowledgeable beer people who had a lot of connections and knew a lot of people in the community. I've always been really community driven and community oriented within this industry, and so that seemed like a quick, obvious, you know, no-brainer fix for the situation. And in reality, sometimes becoming involved with somebody who has so much of the same personality interests as you can be detrimental, because, you know, you're like so much alike that it can pose as a problem. So quickly, without very much time, I ended up moving to be closer to this person, and, you know, things didn't really feel right in my gut the whole time, but I was so afraid of being alone and broken that I clung on. That's the love addiction part of it, is that I like needed to be with somebody. I felt like I needed to be with somebody, and so I jumped on board and moved there. And in fact, I married the person. I got married to a person who I had known for less than 6 months. It was ridiculous. I mean, I never ever even conceived the idea of a rebound marriage. And the person I was with for 7 years, 8 years, was somebody that was like a real partner, someone that I really spent a lot of my time with. And, you know, people change, so things change in that situation. But this other person, I'm committing my life and marrying this person, and in a financial, legal, and spiritual way. And it seems ridiculous in retrospect, and I just want to slap the shit out of my former self for doing that. But, you know, you can't go back in time, so I'm not going to go back and regret the past, because I learned a lot, and a lot of great experiences came out of my traveling and moving and, you know, other things that surrounded this circumstance. Anyways, needless to say, it didn't last very long. just over a year of a really rocky year of being together with this person, and a lot of blame, a lot of anger, angry at each other. It took me a long time to let it go, and I still haven't let it all go, and it's still kind of fresh in my life. It wasn't that long ago, but I moved back to the Northwest after this had all happened, and I had committed myself to, I'm just going to work, I am going to focus on me, I'm going to do all this stuff just for me. Unfortunately, the me part didn't involve, taking care of my health and my diet, and, not drinking and not smoking cigarettes, which I started doing once that marriage deteriorated at the end. I decided I was going to go become self-destructive. But I did move back to the Northwest, and I committed myself to, finding a job. And in fact, when I started the job, I wasn't drinking or smoking for 8 days because I needed to go into this with a clear head. This was a whole new experience. I had a lot on the line here, moving and trying a new job, especially when you don't have a lot of money or a lot to fall back on. You've got to, be focused and be right there. And so I did that. I worked really hard. I really liked my job. I really met a lot of great friends there. It was a really rewarding experience. And I still remained involved with the social media experience because I run a business. I have all this other stuff going for me. And so, a brand, you got to keep it going. So with the help of my friends and myself, I kept going. And then social media came back again for me to let it bite me. And what happened is someone